What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? The city of Louisville has settled with Breonna Taylor's family for $12 million in their wrongful death lawsuit. The big question, fam, is why did they settle so soon? Well before any criminal case was brought forth, before any arrests were made. We'll come back to that. The lawyers claim that part of the deal had to be police reform. A couple of things that bother me about the reforms. One, they want the officers to live in the community in which they serve. And in doing so, they are going to give them monetary compensation. The problem I have with that, fam, is that what happens once a black person goes outside of their community? If the police don't have the proper training and, more importantly, the proper fear of retribution when they kill a black person, what is there? What incentive is there to change the behavior? The only thing they will be doing is having cops live in some of the better areas of the community they serve. In fact, they're not even asking them to live in the community they serve. They're asking them to live in the city that they serve. Some of these cops live so far away, they don't even pay taxes in the city that they're serving in. They're not paying for the roads, the construction, the schools, the infrastructure, nothing. They're not paying any leisure taxes, hotel taxes, transportation taxes, nothing. They're just coming in, whooping ass, and checking out and getting paid. And here's another thing, fam. These same cops, you don't have this situation when it comes to black cops. So they talk about, well, the cop need to serve in the community. Well, what about the black cops who serve in the white communities? They don't need any sensitivity courses. They don't need to live in the community in order to respect the people in the community. You know why? Because they know their asses are going to get taxed if they violate people. If they start gunning down white folks, they know that they are going to pay a penalty. These white cops who are out here gunning down black folks are not paying a penalty. They're not paying a penalty, so they have no fear of retribution. Therefore, they have no incentive to change. Start punishing their asses, holding them accountable. Problem solved. They don't have to live in the community. You don't have to live near me to respect me. I don't have to live where you live. I don't have to know nothing about you to offer you respect. That comes with human decency. I don't have to know all your background and all that stuff. Well, how long he been in America? Well, do we have a white? Yeah, he got any black people? He got any black friends? Man, I don't give a damn about none of that. You respect me, I respect you. I respect you, you give me mine in return. Simple. Treat people like you want to be treated. So I got a problem with that. The other big thing that I have a problem with is them talking about having social workers ride or accompany police officers when they are answering calls for disturbances involving people with mental health issues or the homelessness. Got a problem with that. Because police officers are going to intimidate. I do believe they're going to intimidate those social workers. Because at the end of the day, They still have the gun. They have the badge. They have the right to turn the assistance, the care, the hospital trip into a trip to the jail or a trip to the morgue. They're still going to have the trump card. So I wouldn't trust it. They don't need to be nowhere near people with mental problems at all. They don't need to be nowhere near those people. A family member call and say, yeah, my son has autism, he's having an episode. Do not call the police. Their asses don't need to be nowhere around. You know why? Because they're too aggressive. They come out aggressive. They come out with an attitude. The first moment somebody says something they don't like, they just snap. They become unraveled. They just lose it. They have no sense of control. Most of them don't. We've seen it time and time and time again. What happens if they roll up on a homeless person and the homeless person is having a moment? Because a lot of homeless people have mental issues also. So what happens, they roll up and the homeless person say, man, leave, this is my stuff, leave it alone, touch my stuff. And homeless people, you think you care about your stuff. The homeless people, that whatever they got in that basket, whatever they have in that box, under that bridge, that's all they got in life, that's theirs, that's everything to them. And they will defend it with their life, and they get very touchy when people mess with their stuff. So the cop come through there poking that stuff because he don't give a damn. He don't think nothing of them anyway. He already think that they're less human. So he come through there poking stuff and talking to people crazy. Next thing you know, the homeless person defending themselves and pushing them off, get away from my stuff. Next thing you know, they done shot the man dead. No, they don't need to be nowhere near homeless people. Nowhere near them. They should not be called to people's homes when there are disputes. If a crime has been committed, okay. But other than that, no. Hell no. And I'll tell you something else. After the crime has been committed, most times, the person who committed the crime is already gone anyway. Their asses don't even need to show up on the scene. You can have social workers show up for that. Yeah, I'm not with it, man. I'm not with that at all. I'm satisfied that the family got something. The $12 million, which when you bust it all the way down, the family might walk away with $4 or $5 million. You know, you can't put a price on life. There's no amount of money. I can guarantee you, for the people who really loved Breonna Taylor, they would rather have Breonna back than that money any day. They would rather have Breonna over the money any day. So, but there it is, fam. That's the settlement. $12 million to be paid out to Breonna Taylor's family. The only reason why they're doing it is because I do believe one or two reasons. One is to get ahead of the curve before that decision come back to not prosecute. You know, we want to try to make sure, you know, people don't explode too much because, look, we gave you something. We're going to pacify you, you know, little hush money, you know, because people have been protesting for 100 days. So they figure we got to break them off something. So maybe we do this when the ruling come back that we're not going to prosecute these officers, they're not going to be held accountable, then, you know, we have a little problem, but maybe it won't be so much because, look, we showed good faith by cutting the check. Then again, maybe this is just to hold everybody off until they can decide what they're actually going to do, which I really think they already know what they're going to do. But you never know what these people's intentions are. And you never know what they got going on, but you do know not to trust them. R.I.P. Breonna Taylor. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?